Okay, I can see nobody's came in yet, but somebody eventually will watch this. I'm in Yorktown, Indiana. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? So I'm in Yorktown, Indiana, and what I'm looking at, this is Buck Creek. It runs all the way over by my house, actually. And this is where it joins the White River at, right here. And that's the White River coming from back this way. It's still up a little bit because of the rain. It's down a lot. It's been up here where I'm walking, actually, the last week or so. But I'd looked at it on the map, and I came here to look for a place to cast a net to catch bait. See this little back swirl right here? Maybe in the summertime. Rock piling down there and stuff. So I happened to be over here doing a real estate appraisal, and I thought I'd come over and look at it. And the more I look, that's a pretty steep bank right over there with all that riffraff. And when the river's down, I could wade fish this right through here. Maybe not there. I don't know how deep it is on the Buck Creek side, but I'm thinking if anything between here and, like I said, that's the White River going back up that way. I'm going to wade it this summer. Hey, how you doing, Steve? Hey, Mike. So I'm going to wade this summer, and I'm thinking from this point here going that way at that riffraff there, I should probably maybe find a deep spot. Like that whole run right along there, that may be 6 or 7 feet deep right in there, 5 feet maybe. All this going back this way is real shallow. There's a canoe launch back up that weighs about a mile. But the whole idea of coming here, I was looking for a place to cast a net. And I don't know what all that foam crap is right there, but I'm thinking that normal pool, where that foam stuff is right there, is going to be land, because it's up. It's probably up 5 feet, I'd say. But normal pool, but you can see all the rock and stuff through here. You know, all right through this little section right here may be a good place to cast a net. Two things that happen: I'll cast a net and catch some bait, or I'll get my net hung up in the rocks. But the good part is it's not really that deep right in there. Yeah, Steve, I agree. Like right down there, even in the summer, on the left side there is going to be deep. And then going on down that way, it probably stays, 3 feet or so on down through there for 5 or 6 miles, I'd imagine. There's no, real shallow stuff like that stuff running back there is. You can see the point way back there. See if I can zoom in on it real quick. Yeah, so you can see the point back there. That's all real shallow in the summer. You can walk across there and probably not get your knees wet. I'm thinking anyway. I don't know what makes it do that. Yeah, right here. But I got a feeling this may be dry land in the summer. Because like I said, this river's up pretty good right now. And, probably, maybe not, because you can see where it goes down the hill and flattens out right there. And this comes around. And you can stand down there in the summer for sure. And you know what? That may actually be a little eddy right there that holds the bait fish in the summertime. Sure be worth the look, wouldn't it? But I was looking at this on the map. I grew up in this area, but I'd never been back here. Actually, this land right here, going, I'd say 200 feet past my car and that truck there, a friend of mine owned this land. This was all like woods and floodland and big grown up fields and stuff. And he owned a bar up here in town. And he owned this forever, and the city wanted it to extend the park out this way. So he finally sold it to him. He didn't want to, but he was getting old, and he left and moved to North Carolina. He's got a couple cabins there, actually. He just passed away a few months ago. And I I got access to cabins. I think if I understood Pop right, it's somewhere near a big lake. So I'm going to find out where it's at. Maybe catfishing down there. Yeah, you can see right here where the water was up this week, right through there. It's real wet right here. I'm going to get my shoes trashed, but I see some more, what may be another eddy up this way, so we'll walk up and give her a look. Yeah, it's kind of wet right here. Raccoon tracks or something. But this is really close to my house. Within probably 6 miles, I'd say. And like I said, I think I'll come down when the weather gets better and the river's down. I can wade, like cross back there at that point to this corner here, and gets me on that other side, and I can get a good look at that bank over there. Hey, how's it going, guys? If I don't say hi or whatever, the chat thing fades away. I can't see it. By the time I see it, it's gone. So if you said hi to me and I didn't say anything, I do apologize. Yeah, that don't look too bad. This is, like I said, the city or the Corps engineers or somebody put all this riprap in here at one time. It's been there for years. Probably longer than I've been along. But I did just see, I think we may have something pretty decent right up here. Somebody fishing pole. Can you see it? Yep, there it is. Should have bought an Uncle Lou's. Yeah, this right up here. I'm glad I walked up this way. Now I see another place that probably throw a net. Heck, I could probably just take my ultralight and Mr. Twister and, whoa, big hole. And I just fell in it. That's not good on knees on a fat old man like me. That's for sure. Okay, yes, yeah. See, this kind of ebbs right there. There's a little inlet right here. Yeah. Yeah, I could, in fact, I'll probably catch some little shiners and stuff in here with a Mr. Twister, I imagine. Yeah, bank drops, and there's a little hole right here. Right there. So that may actually be a spot to throw a cast net also. That looks pretty decent. Like I said, I hadn't been over here before. We're going to walk through the mud. Danny Stone will be proud. That's all that matters. Got to impress him. I did drive out. I had to go see a house out in the country. And I went by the reservoir where I was filming. Yeah, it's not very deep there. You can see the bottom. Where I was filming the other night. Because I was going to go out there and practice bait casting that Abu Garcia reel. It's froze. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. This is a pretty nice little stretch of river. It's a lot nicer when my dad's friend owned it, because there wasn't nothing back here. I mean, you'd had to chop weeds to get back in here. But the city turned into a park, so that's okay. At least it'll be here forever. And honestly, it probably wasn't worth anything anyway. Yeah, see, there's a little sandbar there. That right there is what the river typically looks like in the summer back where we were. I mean, it's real shallow right through here. In the summer, you walk across this, right across there, and not get your knees wet, which will make it easier for me to look at that other bank over there where it's kind of deep, maybe. It's a shame this river. That's the bad part about White River up here where I'm at. But there's no real big, deep areas. It's all, you know, about like this right here. See you, Mike. Have a good one, buddy. Thank you. But I was over here. I'm glad I stopped over here now. It looks pretty cool. I do believe that I can get some bait fish right through here. I need to find out what our laws here are on crappie. as bait fish if you catch them with the pole. Because I know a place I can get some crappie with the throw net where I was fishing out at that reservoir my second live I done. But if you can't, you know, use them as bait if you catch them with the throw net, then I'd have to go there and... Oh yeah, Steve, there's no doubt in my mind. I'll get bait fish here for sure. I mean, there's no doubt. There's raccoon tracks all over the place. Oh yeah, I'll get, even like where that log is, in the summer, I could probably wade out and throw my throw net up against that log right there and let it drop down and catch some. Hey Ernie, how's it going, man? I'm out here scoping out part of the White River by my house, looking for places to use my cast net to get bait. We started way down there on that point. See, way down there, and it looks pretty promising. But then I thought I'd walk up here because it's actually a pretty nice place. It's like 38 degrees here today, so it's worth taking the walk for anyway. It's not like my fat self don't need it. I want to see what's up here because I don't really know. Like I said, I had never been back in this part. Nice and sandy right there, I know that. Boy, it's a shame that river wasn't about 50 feet wider right here, isn't it? See, there's a little back eddy right there too, see it? That'd be another place I could wade out there in the summer and cast a net into that little spot. Oh, is it, Ernie? Heck yeah. Well, crap. I hate when the thing goes away and I can't see it. How do I... Ernie, I was trying to make you a mod, but it ain't giving me that option or nothing, huh? I'll figure out how to do that sometime. It's not like I got many people coming here to be worth modding stuff up anyway. Yeah, this is a pretty nice little stretch of river right here, actually. Right over there, going that way. Yeah. Pretty nice. Nice day to get out anyway, isn't it? I don't know what that's all about. Squirrel, how you doing, man? Like I said, if you say hi and I don't see you, it's because this thing disappears and I'm not that quick. Okay, I'll check that out, Ernie. I'll let you know. Before, when I was doing lives, I just had to touch your name and it would let me do it. But for some reason, I touch your name and it won't let me do nothing. Well, let me put you in timeout, but that ain't no fun. You know, it's a little deeper right here, actually. Naturally deeper, even. A little back swirl right over there. Like I said, it's a shame this ain't a bigger river right now. You know, Squirrel, there's some good bridge access to this river going through town, through Muncie and stuff. This is Yorktown, Indiana, just west of Muncie. But like I said, if this river was bigger, there's really good backflow right there, man. Little creek flowing in from right there. Huh. Interesting. But there's just, I mean, you might get some cats right over here, but the river's low enough or a regular pool that, I mean, you're not going to get anything that has any size to it, but still it's catching. But I wanted to look at this little island right here. I seen it on the map and see about, you know, how deep it is. You can see here, Water's kind of calm right here on this side. And a little back swirl to it. So I'm just basically looking for places to cast a net this summer. And that's really nice sandy bottom too. Usually it's mud. But yeah, see, like right there by that big log. Right out in here, just out the tip of that log, I'd reckon. Guy throw a cast net and might be able to get a little bit of bait. Well, there's a geese family heading down the river. One looking back, making sure everybody's okay. Honk, honk. Where y'all going back? Oh, going up on the island for chill for the afternoon? I see, said the blind man. Yeah, Steve, it's just not deep enough right here. There's another little back swirl there. Like I said, it on down, going west of here, where that bank is we were looking at earlier, from there going on to the west, probably 5 or 6 miles is nothing but farm out through there. So I'm betting the river stays about that deep as we look. I'll find out this summer. I'll wade this. Either that or I'll float it in a canoe past there. But I'm betting from where Buck Creek meets over there, I showed you those two come together, going west, I think for probably 5 miles at least, there's nothing out there. So that river's just going to flow through there. And I do know there's some steep banks out there because I've seen them before appraising houses out that way. Oh, heck, it's a whole geese convention now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Yeah, you can see where it floods all over there on the other side too, in that low area. You sink to your knees over there today. See if we can get a little closer to this here. See what we see. I gotta quit looking at the camera and watch where I'm walking, or you all are gonna get to see me fall down and get to laugh. That's a big old tree fell right there now. And that's a pretty big one that may fall someday. Yeah, that's a big tree. I'll bet that's 100 feet high probably. Yeah. The biggest thing actually I wanted to see is if I'd be able to drive back here to this corner, or if I'd have to hoof it from up where the old park was. And actually I can drive all the way to over where I'm parked at, which is real cool. I mean, if I did find a place to catfish there at that point, if it looks promising, I could pull my little cart there, and I only got to pull it about 100 yards maybe. Okay, watch where you're walking, Bugman. There you go. Oh, right in now. I will be starting my spring training for the catfish draft. I'll be #1 draft pick next year. Won't make it this year, but by golly, I'll be training. Y'all look for the videos. I promise you they'll be funny. I already got the first one planned out, the introduction video, before I actually get into the training part. Should be pretty funny. And I don't know, I'm walking back over here towards the truck. I guess I can stay along the river and cut back up, I reckon. Unless it gets real muddy again. You know, this same river, you go east of Muncie, oh, probably 5 miles east of Muncie, it's actually out by that reservoir I was doing my live at, was the Muncie Indians, which is where they got the name of the city at. We're from there, and along that river and stuff, you can find arrowheads out in the fields, and there's some pretty good stories about that. And my best friend, it's been 35 years ago, I guess, his grandma lived out there. She was 98 then, I'd reckon. And we were talking to her one time, and he said, "Grandma, what's your earliest memory that you can remember?" And she said, "I can remember when the Indians come and stole my cousin out of the yard." So all my life I thought that was a BS story, you know what I mean? Well, I read this book about the history of that area, and sure enough, that stuff would happen. I was like, get out of here. That old lady was telling the truth. Are you kidding me? And then my grandmother, on my grandmother's side, my great-grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee in the hills of Kentucky. And my great-grandpa married her. Evidently, I bet that went down real good back then. But the family still owns the land in the mountains there. I don't know, it's about, I forget how many acres it is, but it's literally in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. It's got the little homestead in the flat area, and then the rest of it's just vertical mountain. There ain't nothing you could do with it. But it can't be sold unless it's a 100% consensus of the oldest living child of each family member. My mom being the one on grandpa's side, which would go to me afterwards. And my grandpa's brother actually just called yesterday and talked to mom, said some of the family was wanting to sell it, and asked her what she wanted to do. And she's like, I don't want to sell none of that land. And he don't either. He grew up there, my grandpa's brother. And I promised my mom when it come time that I had to say in it for her when she's gone, that I'd never vote to sell that land. And God only made so much property on this planet. It's a commodity you cannot reproduce. Well, there's a nice old trees around here. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, really nice. Amazing they stay up in the flood. I like that one at an angle. For God, probably that's better. I got the sun out of it, didn't I? Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Camera don't do them trees justice. They're tall. You can see they're way up there. I was a kid, we'd have had a ball right here, I guarantee it. We'd have had ropes and we'd have been scaling these bad boys. We used to do it all the time, get in trouble. One kid fell and broke his arm, and his mom was going to sue everybody and everyone in the country, and because we were climbing trees with ropes too high. Where I imagine today, if that was to happen, she not only would sue us, she'd win. Because Lord forbid you go out and have any fun as a child these days. Just keep you on them computers in the house where it's safe. Yeah, I said it. I'm sure somebody will get a case of the ass about that, but I don't care. Kids don't play like we used to. And sometimes I wonder if it's actually safer now than it was when we were kids, or if it's just you hear more about it. Because we was ornery little kids, and I can remember one time we were all playing, and we used to play newspaper tag. You'd roll up a newspaper with a bunch of rubber bands, you'd ride your bikes, one guy has the paper, and if he'd hit you with the paper, then you were it. It was all on bicycles and stuff. Well, we had all stopped, and we're just, hanging around and talking and stuff, and this big old four-door Ford LTD pulled up. Two scummy looking old guys in it asked us for directions somewhere, and we told them how to get there, and one of them was like, well, won't you jump in and show us where it's at or whatever, and not even thinking, we were kids, not thinking about, getting snatched or anything like that. We were just ornery. We told them if they wasn't smart enough to find it, they probably didn't need to go there anyhow. And we all got on our bikes and took off. But I look back now as an adult, and I think, you gotta wonder if maybe they were up to something nefarious of that nature. And I'm pretty sure they were, the more I think about it, because you'd had to seen them. I mean, they were definitely, and you just smell the beer on them and stuff like that too, wanting us to get in their car. I was like, yeah, it's probably not gonna happen. Like I said, we was honestly back in. We may even said some bad words to them, but that's the kind of neighborhood I grew up in. You know, my neighborhood was on the other side of the tracks, so to speak. Which, when I was a kid, it was cool because it was as far south as the city went at the time. And my neighborhood, my street dead ended, for instance, and it was all surrounded by cornfields, and there was a big creek. And actually, this creek that flows in right here that I showed you earlier, that Buck Creek, that was over by my house. I can remember being, oh man, we couldn't have been 10 or 11, and we'd flood the yard in the afternoon and get night crawlers at night. And then we'd get up in the morning and hack our way through the cornfield the first time. Then we'd have a trail cut for the rest of the summer. We'd make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and stuff. We'd go over and spend all day fishing and catching bluegill and stuff. But I drove by the old farmhouse that was there, and it's so grown up, I don't think you can get back to the old. They had a bridge that went from the farmhouse, like you crossed it, there was a barn, and then the fields back there for farming. But it's so grown up, I don't think you can get back that bridge, because that's where we used to fish underneath it all the time. It's just an old farm bridge. And that same creek, when my pop was a kid, he said, Corps of Engineers or whatever come through there in the 50s, I think it was, and dredged that whole creek out for miles. And he said before that, it was just, they'd go there and camp when they was kids and, you know, catch bat, catch smallmouth, you know, all kinds of fish in there. Said it was awesome. And the Corps of Engineers come in and took all the deep spots and stuff out by dredging it like they did. And it's literally as flat as a rock for miles and miles. But I remember him telling me about it, that they used to camp out there for days at a time when he was little. Well, he wasn't little, he was a teenager then. And they would actually go there and stay for, you know, like a week, him and his buddies, and they'd catch fish and eat them. And I'm sure they probably stole beer and drank it and stuff like that, because I did say it was on the other side of the tracks, that area. You'd almost think it was April. There are a bunch of people here jogging, walking. I'm glad I cruised over here. I had to take some pictures of comparable houses about a mile from here this afternoon. And I was like, man, you ought to go by there and look at that. And I'm glad I did now. I think I may find a place I'll be able to get some bait. We'll find out this summer. Yeah, that's mud bottom there for sure. I just wonder how long it is before that old tree goes. You can see the roots, and it leans. I go to the other side where the sun ain't shining on it, because it leans way out over the river. I say in 5 years it's down. Almost make like a natural dam. Phew, I'm walking in the mud now. But you see it? How it goes out and leans over and the whole front half of the root system's exposed in the front there. You can take a drawing on how long it's there. There's another one right there does the same thing. That's why they put all that riffraff in, I reckon. They knew these tree roots would eventually be gone. And then my cousin them bought a house that sits on this river about 15 miles east of here. I need to get a hold of her husband and ask him how deep it is. I canoed it before, but I just can't remember, you know, exactly where they're at, how deep it is. Yeah, we're out here on the hiking trail now. Shoot, I've been on here 30 minutes, ain't I? But I like it. It's going to be easy access. And we'll know come spring whether we get any bait fish or not. where I'm actually not sure if I practice casting and got my cast good enough, I could probably reach just past where that junction is there. I'd say it's 50 yards maybe. I see Chunky and them casting that all day. And it's real fast there, so I'd need a lot of weight anyhow. And it's where two bodies of water meet each other. I guess that's supposed to be a good thing, isn't it? Okay, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm heading to the house. I gotta get Mom and Dad something to eat. If I knowed I was coming here, I'd have brought the little dog with me. Well, too many people here, probably not. I took her out yesterday at the reservoir and let her run for a couple hours, which was good because she was out yesterday evening. I'll see you guys. Hey, Cody, 3+1. Good to see you, man. I appreciate you guys stopping in and saying hey to me. I really do. I'm new at all this, and eventually I'll get the hang of it. I'm going to have to learn how to edit to make my spring training video for the catfish draft. Which, for anyone out there, I came up with that idea first, just so you know when they steal my idea. All right, guys. You know what? And for some reason, for me, today feels like Friday. I don't know why that is, but it sure does. And I'm going to end this with a slow pan of the river. Thanking everybody for stopping in. And trying to emphasize how grateful I am that I discovered this catfish community. It has given me a whole new outlook. Because I had to move back to Muncie to care for my parents, and I hate it there. I don't do nothing. I've been there 5 years and hadn't done much. And this has motivated me because it's something I can do close. You know, without, you know, this is one of them towns people go to bars and stuff like that. If it isn't that, I don't know what else they do. And that's just not me. I don't do that stuff no more. I gave that up years ago. But finding this catfish community has lit a fire under my butt. I know that. So for all you people who are out there making content and the lives that I get to see, I just want you to know it's really greatly appreciated. And don't forget, Bugman 22, spring 2023 draft. I'll be the man. I'll be the #1 draft pick. This year I don't qualify. I ain't even pulled a big fish out of the water yet. Until next time.